If you need level 40, unlimited, limited, clutch time, domination, triple threat, or anything else on your 2K account grinded, contact Rose NBA on Twitter and let them know X sent you. This is the best and fastest way to evo up Joe Ingles from Ruby all the way up to Diamond. So let's get into it. Joe Ingles right here is a pretty easy, he's the easiest evo of the other ones is what I'll say. So Joe Ingles has 150 points, 40 dunks, 4 dunks in a game, and 50 assists. And a lot of people might be saying, how is he the easiest one if he starts off with a 45 dunk? And that's just because Goran Dragic and Evan Fournier both require steals while having a 50 in steals. I just think it's a little bit more difficult. Either way, when you do get Joe Ingles evoed up, you get plus 10 in driving layup to an 85, which is nice, a better draw foul, a better ball handle, plus 25 to standing dunk, although that doesn't really matter too much. A 65 isn't exactly amazing, but the plus 40 in driving dunk up to an 85 is crazy. A better speed with ball, better acceleration, better vertical, strength, and hustle. He gets hold, acrobat, aerial wizard, silver bully, Hall of Fame, fast twitch, and fearless finisher, gold limitless takeoff, posterizer, pro touch, rise up, slithery, clam breaker, and quick first step with silver hyperdrive and a Hall of Fame off-ball pass. I mean, he becomes a crazy good card that can generally just be great. So highly recommend doing this Joe Ingles. So what you're going to want to do is obviously change up some things that will allow you to just have some easier settings. So we have different types of coach boosts that will help different things, and I should probably I'm going to put Joe Ingles in just so you can see the exact boost that Joe Ingles will be getting from a lot of these guys for coaching. So you're going to want to put on a coach that obviously helps him out, and as you can see right here with Joe Ingles, we only get the plus 3-point mid-range perimeter defense and ball handle because he's only a good fit for the perimeter centric. So well, most people would think, because I do think it gives a driving dunk to other players like Scottie Pippen right here. He gets a driving dunk. That's because he's an excellent fit. So I think sometimes balance can give it out to certain guys as well. So just kind of go through your coaches, make sure whichever one's fitting, Joe Ingles the best. That way he has the best chance of finishing inside. And what you can also do is set up a shoe to help out his dunking, even if it's just a temporary shoe, whatever. I actually do recommend you just give him a shoe in general, especially on Diamond. He is a great Diamond card. So to add a driving dunk, and it should help him out a decent bit. But sadly, you won't be able to add any amazing finishing badges to him before the evo, just because you will get them after the evo. So just keep that in mind. It's not gonna be the most insane thing. So for his assists, I think this is a pretty easy and self-explanatory one. He does need 50 assists. All I recommend is you pick up another one of these Evo cards and get 50 assists to one of the other cards, because if you take 30 or 53s with either of the other two Evos, that gets the 150 points that they need just instantly done. So I highly recommend you just duo those together, and then the dunks and the 4 dunks in a single game will kind of combine. So if we get 40 dunks, we will only have 80 points out of the 150, but with the way that you have to get dunks with Joe Ingles, you'll probably get a lot of extra points from things that he does not dunk. So I do think your 150 will be finished, but it is what it is. So the ways that I recommend you go ahead and score with Joe Ingles is going to be in places that are semi-pro difficulty. So triple threat is my favorite way to do this because it is semi-pro difficulty for the beginning. But once you get up, I think, to the Moments trophy case or the 4 tokens, it's one of these two over here, you actually lose semi-pro and it goes up to just pro, which you can still do it. But once it starts getting to like all-star, it's a little bit difficult. So clutch time is also a great one for this first tier 1. I've only won 3 games, so it's relatively still semi-pro for me. And then once you finish all of those and they're above semi-pro and you still don't have your dunks, you can head over to some of these inside scoring basketball fundamental skills challenges in the challenge section, because all of these are staying down on the semi-pro difficulty, and they will only end, for example, this one when you get 5 3-pointers. So just pick a team that you think you can get dunks on or will forget about Joe Ingles the most, and boom, you'll be good. Like, I don't recommend the mid-range scoring one because Mitchell Robinson doesn't let anything up in the paint. So what we're gonna do is head over, I'll just go into triple threat for example and show you guys what I recommend to be the best way to do this. You're gonna want to usually use a lower rated gold card that still has good playmaking, that way you're matching up against some worse cards. So I'm going to use, for example, this LaMelo Ball card because he still has an 89 pass accuracy as a gold. Really helpful. Then I'm going to put Joe Ingles in as my small forward, and then my center is going to be just some random gold card that is just tall, that can play a little bit of defense if I need him to, but basically it's just going to allow us to not get in the way of these other guys, and then we're going to load him into this game. So for the normal points that you would want to do with Joe Ingles, I guess we can just kind of cover that a little bit if you want to. I don't really think you need to, but we'll do that, I guess, a little bit towards the end. So essentially what I like to do, kind of, if you're only going in these, if you want to just stay on semi-pro difficulty, you can play absolutely no defense, but it is what it is. So for the first one, if you just want to get points, let's say you finished all your dunks, you're going to want to just hold, basically all I'm doing right there to get that open three is holding R2, hitting up in the opposite direction of the ball hand, like diagonal up in the opposite direction, and then I'm just pressing down on the left stick like a half second after. So you just do that right stick movement, and then boom, you're done. And that's all you got to do really to use Joe Ingles. Or you can do a move like this where you hold R2 and then press down on the right stick while holding R2, and you get that nice hop back. So if you want to get dunks though, tap the icon pass button or the screen button, and you can essentially just tap Joe Ingles' number, and essentially what you're going to want to do is just do that. You saw Joe Ingles actually jumped up to get a dunk right there on that play, which is why, you know, boosting up a driving dunk can definitely help. But what this is especially throwing a lob. And to throw a lob, you hit double triangle, double Y, whatever it is. So we're going to do it again. We're going to tap the button right here and then hit Joe Ingles' button. He's going to come and set a pick and roll. We're going to loop around, then start walking when you get to that corner, and boom, get that dunk. So I'll go through it a little bit slower on the next time, but you can see when we're doing these oops and throwing these oops up to Joe Ingles, he's essentially like automatically going up for a dunk and is almost forced to. Now, he's not going to go for a dunk every time. Nobody does, but that's generally what you want to do. So what I like to do is you see this little hash here on the court. Walk to this hash, tap the screen button, boom, click on Joe Ingles' number, which is our button, which is circle. Then you're going to hold R2 through this, stop, and start walking as you get over to the other side, like on the box where LaMelo is right there. Once you start walking there, it just gives Joe Ingles time to get that back door and slow down, and it usually lures the defender to fall asleep. And you're just going to want to repeat this process. Is this process going to be easy in the slightest? Not at all. Gary Trent, also pretty good defender. But look at that. 2 dunks with Joe Ingles right there. And this really is the only method to get dunks with Joe Ingles, because he doesn't really have the greatest of dunking tendencies and only has a 45 driving dunk. So even if you are open, he's really not going to get it. So again, you just repeat this process, walk over to the hash, click on his button. He'll run over and set that screen. He may be a little tired, but make sure you hit that defender into the screen, run around, and then boom, you'll get the oops. Now right there, like you saw, sometimes he will just take a layup. He will just take a layup. It happens. But for the most part, Joe Ingles will go out there. He will get your dunks, and it won't be too bad. And you can see we already got 2 dunks in here, and we're not even halfway through the triple threat game, so we should be able to get 4 dunks with Joe Ingles throughout this. I don't feel like I have to show you guys the whole game. That's essentially all you do. It's usually pretty easy. The assists, the points, and all that will kind of come to you, but the dunks, I think, are really what people are going to struggle with. This is the best way to do it, and I just prefer triple threat because there's no help defenders. There's only 3 guys I have to worry about. One is sitting in the corner, and the other 2 are setting the pick and rolling. So I think it's a lot easier. And, you know, in clutch time or whatever, you have guys that'll sit down in the paint. But if you are doing that, go to your offensive settings and run the Bucks 2018 freelance. That will help a little bit, but not amazing. So let me know if this video did help you down in the comment section below. Like the video if you guys did enjoy, and subscribe if you are new. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.